Welcome to Superhero Rundown. I'm Lady Jess, this is Rap Critic, and we just... Oh god, what the hell did we just watch? A train wreck, probably.
We just watched Suicide Squad.
Which was a train wreck.
And I don't know why. I'm going to say the word. The word that I wanted to say.
Remember, whatever word it is, if I punch you, this is not my fault.
Yeah,
we discussed this in the parking lot.
I'm going to say a word.
No, I'm just saying for them so that they don't accuse me of doing something terrible.
This movie was unnecessary.
Yeah.
And weirdly enough, the thing that I find that's weird is that it's oddly unnecessary. Like, this movie is supposed to be about villains that are saving the day, basically.
Yeah.
And the idea is that you send this squad in when you don't want to have the like someone like, you know, the Flash or Superman or Batman. You don't want to put their name on what they're doing.
Right.
On what they're being sent to do. So you send out these guys who already have bad reputations so that, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a cool premise. And this movie treats it like they didn't care.
I will say that there were, like, certain parts of the movie that I actually thought were well done and other parts that weren't. But for right now, we kind of agree that it's meh/unnecessary.
For such an interesting idea, it feels
before you spoil anyone, spoilers.
Okay.
And, okay, so we're going to talk about characterization, plot, and whether or not why this movie was even necessary and what they could have done instead. Okay, so first, characterization. Let's start with
who you want to start with, because
Deadshot.
No, I thought we were going to start with Harley Quinn.
No, I want to start with Deadshot because I didn't hate him.
No, I didn't.
Which is weird because I really thought that Will Smith was going to Will Smith it, and he didn't, and I was like, okay.
Some of the language that he used was kind of like, all right, yeah, that's not what Will Smith would say. All right.
Yeah, and there were like certain points of the movie that I was like, okay, yeah, obviously not Will Smith.
But
I really liked the dichotomy of like how he's a contracted killer. That's why he's called Deadshot. If you haven't haven't watched Arrow, you have no idea who I'm talking about. But he never misses. That's like his whole shtick. What I really liked about how Will Smith did it, though, was he had this awesome dichotomy of being a dick to everybody who was like screwing with him, like Amanda Waller and everybody else. But when he's with his daughter, you could tell that that's the most important person in his life. And the fact that
Will Smith is great with kids.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's like in the vein of Pursuit of Happiness, in that he has great chemistry with the girl.
Yeah.
I know it's not his daughter, but it looks like her.
I believe their relationship.
Yeah, I believe their relationship, number one, and like so small spoiler at the end that has no bearing on the plot whatsoever.
A lot of things have no bearing on the plot whatsoever.
There's a scene where he's helping her learn the Pythagorean theorem, and like, you know, she says, oh, like when you shoot somebody from a rooftop, and he's like, yeah, that's exactly what it's like. And I'm like, okay, that moment was awesome and necessary because that made me happy.
And he's like, and then you break down, you know, the specificity of sniping.
Yeah, and then he started talking about like wind effect and like bullet size, and I was like, dude, like, okay, she's 11. I think she just needs the basics.
Deadshot was the best. I'd say the actors did the best they could do.
Yeah,
and like I want to say this for the actors.
Yeah, what they were given, they were as good as they could go, without, you know, going into overacting territory, which was nice.
Now Harley Quinn,
I didn't hate her.
It's like they actively wanted her to be a bad character. They actively wanted her to be a shitty character, and she was trying her damnedest.
Well,
but,
what I liked about Harley was that her motivations are pretty clear. I mean, like when she goes with the Joker, like, you know that it's not because she's, you know, she's not as much disobeying as wanting to be with him.
You know what it is?
Which I think, and this is one thing I want to point out before you say anything else.
Okay.
I really like that this is the Harley before realizing that she's being abused by the Joker. This is very early in her storyline, it looks like. And I'm kind of okay with that, because if they do an episodic thing with Joker and Harley, and like Margot Robbie continues to be Harley Quinn, I want her to see the character arc of her breaking down and realizing that he's fucking with her, and that, you know, she strikes out on her own, and like we get some of the things in the comics, like when Black Canary's pregnant, and then Harley finds out about it, and she's like, I'm not going to fight a pregnant woman. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I feel like they kind of cutenized it a little bit. Like, they made it hot topic-y. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't go into the intricacy of what their relationship was at all. It was just like,
flashbacks
he's a drug kingpin, I guess. They don't really show what the Joker does. He's just some goon.
The thing is that I think that the Harley was good up until a point that you included her with the Joker, because the flashbacks were semi-helpful, and the reason I say semi-helpful,
they didn't know where to put them.
Yeah, they didn't know where they put them is part of the semi-helpful. And the other thing is that I don't care what anyone says. I hated this Joker. I hated him.
It was bad.
Okay. And
he looked like he was imitating Jim Carrey. Did he not?
Yeah, he felt like...
I just thought he was Jim Carrey at one point.
Yeah, I felt like he was not trying to be his own Joker. Now, here's the rundown. Like, so for those of you who don't actually watch anything with the Joker in it, which why don't you? But every Joker who has come before him has had a very distinct Joker. Well, Cesar Romero had a very distinct Joker that fit the 1960s. Then you had Jack Nicholson with Tim Burton's Batman that had a very distinct personality with his Joker. Mark Hamill's Joker is probably the most distinct. I felt like Jared Leto's laugh and Heath Ledger. And Heath Ledger as well. But I feel like the reason why Mark Hamill, like, I kept thinking he's trying to do the Mark Hamill laugh, and it's not working. That was like, every time he would laugh, I'm like, am I being thrown into the Killing Joke? Well, like, what the fuck?
Here's the thing, it could have been, the elements were there for this to be better than it ended up being.
Yeah.
I'll say this, for the tone, alright, let's go over the tone of I know you want to get to everyone else.
Well, no.
There was a thing I never wanted to say. There was a thing I wanted to say. About Harley Quinn.
About how the tone was not supposed to be that way.
Well, no.
They re-edited it.
The Harley Quinn thing.
After test audience.
I wanted to say the Harley Quinn thing.
Okay.
Before I forget. The thing about Harley Quinn is that, you know how in Independence Day, people say it was a shit movie, but Will Smith made that character great. Because of just his acting ability. But, like, that's what people say.
Oh, well, they're stupid.
And this could have been her ability to make this character that they kind of two-dimensionalized into something.
They really did
great.
two-dimensionalize her.
That script was really working against her. All the silly, cutesy things she says, they just didn't get sold well enough. And it was just like...
I think the only line that I liked a lot that she said was, I'm known to be quite vexing. And then that was like, that got a chuckle out of me.
But there were a couple of times where it was just like, They have a sort of thing that seems like it's about to set up something that's going to be really witty and that's going to get a belly laugh, and then it's just like, oh, you didn't have.
Yeah, apparently. Right. Okay, so
which is going to go into what you're about to say.
I don't know what anybody said in general. I don't know like what the entire story is with Suicide Squad. I do know that apparently after a test audience or 2 or 3, I don't really know how many edits it went through. They went back into the editing room and re-edited it to be more fun.
And oh my god, you can tell they were trying like shit to put some sort of fun into this movie because
I mean, honestly, Harley and Deadshot's like relationship through the entire movie was really what carried it.
The songs.
Yeah,
they just kept throwing in. You know this song, don't you? You know this song, don't you? We don't really know how this works into what the fuck is going on in the plot, but you know this song, right? We're gonna play Fortunate Son. We're gonna play Spirit in the Sky. We're gonna play Bohemian Rhapsody. It's just like
Bohemian Rhapsody actually worked because of how it was used.
But Spirit in the Sky was specifically stupid. Because it was just like, they're going on the mission, and why are you playing this upbeat song?
It's like, oh god, whatever. Anyway, but I will say that, Okay, so let's talk about the rest of the Suicide Squad.
Oh, do we need to? Do we really need to?
Can we talk about how fucking much I hated that Captain Boomerang was a thing?
He was so unnecessary. I thought he was going to get killed. I thought he was going to get killed.
I really love that they killed Slipknot.
I was like, oh, he's doing all this stupid shit because we're going to kill him.
So my favorite thing about this is that they killed Slipknot just for the sake of killing Slipknot, which is great.
That was dumb, though.
It was funny, though. I thought it was funny.
I hate to compare.
I was just like, nobody knows who Slipknot is, so he's probably going to die first, and lo and behold, I was right.
No, I hate to compare, but I watched the animated Suicide Squad movie, and my thing about it is, I like the idea, like, I've just recently been getting into comics and, like, you know, reading comics, and one of them was Suicide Squad, and I like the idea of what Suicide Squad is. You send these guys who are going to do the shit work that you don't want the main villains, the main good guys' faces on. Right, that's a cool idea. Well, with here, like, the way they set it up is really kind of just like, all right, here are all of these guys. Like, the way the animated movie did it was so much better. The way they set it up, it's like, boom, you guys are assholes, you're villains, we're putting you here, try to leave, we'll put the bomb in your back. They spent too much time setting this shit up.
I want to talk about that, because Viola Davis as Amanda Waller was spot on.
Oh, perfect.
Her characterization was spot on perfect. Yeah. I loved every second of her. She was great. My thing is that I really liked that how they set up Suicide Squad. I just think that it could have been, the pacing could have been a little bit better on that part.
It was edited like a freaking trailer. The whole movie was edited like it was a trailer for a better movie.
But here's the thing. What I really liked about how Amanda Waller explained. So she goes to these two guys in the military who work for the Pentagon and goes, hey, I'm going to do this thing. And here are all the people who are going to be involved. And I really like that they show exactly what they do and, like, who stopped them, which I really liked a lot.
Okay,
so,
yeah, that was kind of...
So Deadshot was stopped by Batman and his own daughter, who kept telling him, Daddy, don't shoot Batman. That was fucking hilarious.
Kind of a bad look. You don't want your dad to be the guy who shot Batman.
I mean, number one, I think Batman could take it, but number two, I thought that was really good. Number three, Harley Quinn got captured by Batman. Friggin' Captain Boomerang was brought in by Flash because there's no Green Arrow in this universe yet, because fuck you.
But the thing is...
Which brings me to another point. Even the one episode of friggin' Suicide Squad that happened in friggin' Arrow was better than this. And it was only one episode, and I really liked it. And I'll discuss it a little bit more in Arrow Season 2 when I do it. But I do want to just bring this up because Arrow did a really good job in that they took lesser known villains and made them more prominent. Now this one tried to do the same thing and failed spectacularly.
They didn't give a shit about Killer Croc. He was just, I'm here to say one or two lines that should be funnier.
Yeah, Killer Croc wasn't really important at all.
He's like, I want to watch BET in jail.
Diablo was actually interesting to me because
I almost forgot about Diablo.
Diablo not only does the actual suicide pact thing, but he's also one of the only villains who doesn't want to use his powers.
Oh yeah, for the first two fights, he's like standing to the side. They're like, you want to help us over here?
He's like, I can't lose control. And I'm like, all right. And then when he finally does, like, you understand why.
That was kind of genius, I would say.
His character arc was actually pretty good.
Where he's like, you guys are my family. Where the fuck did that come from? No, it's just...
I mean, in terms of how his powers... his power progression...
Yeah, I get that, but
not wanting to fight, and then, like, alright, I'll show you what I can do, and then being like, alright, I'll protect you guys, because we've grown accustomed to each other, blah, 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 blah,
They should have made it about, alright, let's be mature, we have to save the world. That's what it should have been. Instead of, we're a family because we had one scene at a bar. Like, and even then, Captain Boomerang, he leaves.
I think it went
Why did he come back? No. Remember,
Rick Flag?
Yeah. He was like, you guys can go. Fine, the mission's over. And Boomerang goes, all right. But then when it's time to recruit, he just walks back in like, I don't know what my motivation was, but I guess I want to save the world now.
You saw that he had a drink in his hand, right?
It wasn't strong enough. That's what I want to say. This movie felt consequenceless. I didn't feel the weight of what was happening. When the action scene started ramping up...
The only person who really had any consequences attached to him was Deadshot.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, Deadshot was like, Amanda threatened his daughter. Amanda was like, all right, well, if you're not going to do what I tell you, then you're never going to see her again, so fuck you.
And I get why he's doing that.
And then at the end, when he's like, no, taking 10 years off is not good enough, and she's like, all right, fine, what do you want? He's like, I want to see my daughter, and she's like, all right, fine. So, like, with Deadshot's, like, arc, it was a better payoff than all the other ones.
It should have just been a Deadshot movie. Because
it really should have been.
Like, who the fuck are the rest of these guys?
The samurai
chick? Who is she?
That's Katana.
She just randomly walks in and it's just like, hello, are we gonna, who's that? Okay, alright, I guess she's a part of this mission now. But she doesn't get a bomb in her neck.
Well, because Katana...
I know, but it was just like...
No. They do explain it. You missed it.
No. I know why. It just felt like...
Katana... Okay, so in the original trailer, it looked like Katana was actually part of the Suicide Squad, but she's not.
She's not. She's just randomly tagged along?
No, she's there to make sure that they stay listening to Rick Flag, which is really weird.
Well, that's what Rick Flag is there for.
But he
Rick
doesn't
Flag
have...
is the enforcer for Amanda Waller.
Yeah, but, like, even Amanda knows that they're not going to listen to him, so she needed somebody else.
Yeah, because Deadshot was obvious. Like, he was undermining him immediately.
Deadshot was like, yeah, fuck you, bullshit.
Yeah, it was like,
I mean, there's a scene where he's like, I want this, this, and this, and then he's like, okay, well... And he's like, no, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to your boss. And I'm like, okay, that's why Deadshot's awesome.
Oh, and then there was a scene, once again, where he's doing, it's just, so many scenes happen where it's just like, you didn't need to put music over this. Why did you just throw, like, hey, you know this pop tune, right? We're gonna squish this on here. You like this scene now, right? And it's just like, just let the fucking scene happen.
Now, see, here's what okay, so this movie is pretty unnecessary. The next DC movie is going to be Wonder Woman, which is going to be a period piece, which I'm really looking forward to because fuck yeah, Wonder Woman. Anyway, my whole thing is, also, I'm okay with Aquaman. Aquaman's alright. But what I wanted to see instead of this was something way better, or no movie at all. Like, I would have been completely fine with them going from Batman v Superman to the Wonder Woman movie. I didn't give a fuck about that.
Here's my thing. This was supposed to be their Deadpool. So just make it ridiculous. Make it all out. Make it R-rated. Make it, funny.
The problem is that, okay, but here's the thing. You cannot have a Deadpool DC movie without Deathstroke. They don't have a Deathstroke in this universe yet.
But they had a Deadshot, and they should have done more with him.
They should have. But what I really... Okay, so these are the three things that I hope now that we have established
and Deadshot and Deadpool. And just too many deads.
Yeah, well, welcome to comic books. Anyway, there's like really three things that I really want to see happen now that all of these characters have been established. I do want to talk about one more thing after this.
Oh, yeah, I'm about to say, I'm not done yet.
But these are really the three things I want to see. I want to see, Deadshot go against either Flash, or when they finally give us a Green Arrow. That would be pretty awesome. Now that Deadshot is in this universe, that would be great. I'd love to see a resolving of the Joker Harley Quinn thing to a point where either A, she realizes that she's being abused and she leaves him, or B, she realizes she's being abused but she doesn't care, which has happened at least 3 times. And then finally, the last thing I really want in this movie, which actually did sort of happen, I want Amanda Waller to be told, shut the fuck up, which did happen, which brings me to my last point before I let you go on your tirade, I promise.
Because, oh boy.
Okay, so there's a mid-credit scene. There's no ending credit scene, but there is a mid-credit scene, which I thought was great. So Bruce Wayne and Amanda Waller meet up, and Bruce Wayne's like, yeah, I can put you under my protection if you give me what I want. So she hands it over, and she's like, yo, you gotta stop, having your night problems because you're tired and shit. He's like, look, if you're gonna be a bitch about this, I will shut you down. Me and my friends will shut you down. And I'm like thinking, okay, so there's 3 things I'm thinking while this is going on. Number 1, I'm thinking, you go, Bruce Wayne, because fucking Batman, yeah. And number 2, I'm like, okay, Batman, they're not really your friends yet. The only people you really know is a dead Superman and a Wonder Woman.
Actually, that's a good point. This is all now. This is backwards.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten to Flash or Aquaman yet. Like that. Yeah. Like the footage we saw at Comic-Con was literally, hey, this is going to be the Justice League movie. This did not happen during Suicide Squad, so Batman, what the fuck?
This is all backwards. Like, you have the villain movie, the villains who are the heroes movie, and you're putting that before the actual, like, presentation of your heroes. That's backwards. Because the idea is that you're making your own universe. The way this movie works, it works as like it's trying to answer the Avengers. Like, oh yeah, well, we're DC. We don't do, this isn't your dad's assemblance of superheroes.
Can we just talk about this for a second? All right, so I mentioned this in the theater to you. I will let you have your tirade, I promise.
Oh boy.
I mentioned this in the theater when we were still watching the credits. I said to Rap Critic, I was like, all right, so you want to know what my problem is with the DC universe? The characterizations, for the most part, are spot on. Amanda Waller, Deadshot, Harley Quinn to an extent, Superman, Batman, the characterizations and their character, and Wonder Woman, the characterizations are there. The problem is that their scripts are fucking terrible.
Yeah, they don't know what to do with them.
I know that Zack Snyder is no longer in charge of DC cinematic universe, which thank fuck.
He was an executive producer for this movie.
Yeah, but he's not like on the he's not like in it anymore. Yeah. They gave it over to Jeff Johns, and I understand that this transition happened in between Suicide Squad. So my hope is that Wonder Woman is better, because if Wonder Woman is not good, I have no hope for this franchise, like, at all. Now, here's what Marvel does well. So, also, why did they show the Doctor Strange trailer before DC movie? That was fucking weird.
You think you'd want to keep that away from the...
Like, they showed the Wonder Woman trailer, which I was like, all right, obviously, because that's your next movie. But then they showed the Doctor Strange one, and I'm like, why are you showing the better franchise? Like, what the fuck, man?
You know what's funny? The credits sequences in this movie looked like they were trying to show what a colorful, like, twisted, demented movie this could have been. But, like the credit sequences were showing you the potential, but the actual movie is very dark and bleak and unfunny and has no humor.
Like Batman v Superman, except the Suicide Squad, I would say, is a little bit above.
But see, like, it's better, but, like, you expect more. Like, this is the villains leading the movie. I should expect to be, like... I should feel something about... I should feel like this is a special moment. Like, with Deadpool, it felt like a special moment. This guy's an anti-hero, so it's not going to work like a normal movie. And these are anti-heroes, so it shouldn't work like a normal superhero movie does. But it basically does. I mean, the only thing that happens is, like, Harley goes like, oh, but I'm crazy. And it's just like, yeah, but no. I mean, yeah, she says silly lines that are going to fit on a Hot Topic t-shirt. But it's just like, you're not really going that level. Now, here's the thing that I wanted to say. Talk about unnecessary. The whole point behind Suicide Squad...
Get ready, guys, because he's about to let loose.
This breaks down the whole point of why Suicide Squad came together in the first place. Because I was trying to figure out, what are they going to face? What are the Suicide Squad going to face? Is it going to be like, oh, Superman comes back from the dead, and they have to kill Superman, and it's just like, that kind of sucks. We don't want to have someone killing Superman because, like, you don't want a superhero that just died being... What are you looking at?
Oh, I think I see a bug over there, but I'm not.
No, it's a penny. Over there.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, it just moved. Anyway,
but you don't want to, you don't want to have a superhero come back from the dead and it's like, oh, he was still alive. Oh, but we're gonna get like back into killing or something like that.
Actually, zombie Superman would have been hilarious.
That would have been a great thing, But here's what the plot ends up being. So they end up getting the witch chick,
Enchantress.
Yeah. And I was saying, like, okay, so she's going to be one of the Suicide Squad? Because the point was, we need to have a god, or we need to have a metahuman on our side, just in case another... Wait.
Go ahead.
Just in case a Superman comes along that, doesn't want to share our values. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. You already have it, and her name is Enchantress, because she can do all of this shit. So... You're good. Like, what's the problem? And so, like, and then the funny thing is, as I'm thinking that, them recruiting Enchantress, she ends up being the villain of the movie. Because she's like, I'm trying to get my brother back that you stole me from when that woman went on their
Dr.
expedition or whatever.
Moon, yes.
Yeah, and so you recruiting her ended up being the reason why you needed the Suicide Squad in the first place. So we're gonna arrange this group of people to fight super villains that are super powered. We're gonna get you and you and you. Oh shit! One of the people who's like the person who's supposed to help us ended up being the person who went against us. And so, oh, wait a minute, maybe I shouldn't have done this in the fucking first place. Maybe a better idea would be to take this Enchantress person and maybe run some tests, figure out, how this character works or something like that. No, it was just, we're going to use her to fight other people. Oh, she won't fight for us? Ah, fuck.
I don't know.
You ruined the whole purpose of you existing in the first place by literally being... it's just stupid. The reason why it works is stupid.
Have you met the DC Comics Cinematic Universe yet? Because... Man of Steel, freaking Batman v Superman, these are all stupid movies.
Like, I get the idea of being like, oh, I guess it's like, be careful what you wish for? I don't know.
Okay, so...
But if they wouldn't have tried to arrange this whole group in the first place and maybe tried to, tried to do something instead of just use her as a weapon.
Okay, here's
a weapon
the thing.
that they didn't fucking understand.
Okay, number one, here's the thing. I don't know what superhero movie you haven't seen where the military is fucking stupid.
Okay, I'll put it to you like this. Scarlet Witch. Remember Scarlet Witch?
Who doesn't?
Remember how they at least tried to be like, hey...
Okay, but those bad people, were experimenting on her where,
No. I'm talking about Iron Man. Sure, you could argue against what he was doing by keeping her out of the public view was wrong or right. But at least they addressed the idea of this superhuman person who can't fully control her powers yet.
Yeah, and who came to break her out. Fucking Hawkeye. Yeah. Because he's like, yeah, that's not cool. Don't imprison your friends.
But what I mean is, at least it's addressed. Here,
that's true.
It's not treated with the gravitas that it deserves, because when the brother starts wreaking havoc and ruckus and all that shit, I thought this was going to be like... Here's where they're going to show off their powers. Here's the second act, and then we're going to get to the third act where the real villain is. But it was just as he started wreaking, did you even care about the octopus arm thing he was doing?
Can I ask you a question? Could you just say Havoc one more time?
Havoc? Was it supposed to be Havoc?
I don't know. You're like Havoc and Ruckus.
But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
As it was happening, I was just going oh, so this is where the Suicide Squad's going to be deployed the first time to show how they work together. Yeah,
I really
or maybe they fail or something like that.
What I really thought was going to happen was giving them way too much credit on their part. But what I really thought was going to happen, kind of like how Iron Man and Hulk faced off in Ultron, kind of like...
Or maybe they're going to fight each other?
Yeah, they were going to fight each other. And, be like, all right, whoever wins, they join that side, or they all die.
Or they divide, and it ends up being like that.
Yeah, like how in Ultron, the Hulk goes on a rampage because of a really good reason. And then Iron Man breaks out the Hulkbuster armor, and there's a great fucking fight. Yeah, I really thought that was gonna happen. I was so disappointed.
Yeah, so it feels like they brought all these characters. Isn't it really cool that we've got all these characters? Let's do... Oh shit, someone should have thought up an idea of what to do with them. How about the girl gets out and she becomes the villain? Oh, so the person that you're recruiting and trying to use good is completely being used for evil in the first place.
I do like that they left it ambiguous, though, at the end about whether or not, I really do like that they were like, okay, well, we'll give these people what they want. We saw Killer Croc with the TV.
Captain Boomerang didn't get what he wanted.
That's because Captain Boomerang's an asshole.
Yeah, but it was just this, it's not really a happy ending or anything like that. I mean, I guess,
Harley got a happy ending.
Yeah, going back to Harley.
So does Deadshot. Deadshot got a pretty okay ending, actually, considering his character.
Yeah, actually. Like I said, it should have just been his movie.
Yeah, it really should have been.
The way the movie sets it up, it seems like it's just going to be about Harley and Deadshot. But then they just go oh yeah, by the way, we need to get in the Katana girl.
Yeah,
by the way, we need to get in the Witch girl. Oh, by the way.
Yeah, the character arcs in this movie are as follows. Harley and Joker, Deadshot and his daughter, and Amanda Waller trying to control everything. That's literally the 3 plot threads we got. Everything else is kind of peripheral.
2/3 of the people on the poster for the fucking movie, unnecessary. Katana didn't need to be there. She served no purpose whatsoever. Deadshot had most of that shit handled. Remember the one scene where he's shooting all those, whatever the fuck those flunky guys were? They were never explained. It was just, I guess we have to kill these guys now.
We saw what happened. Enchantress turned them into her personal zombies.
No, we don't see that. No,
yeah, we do.
No. We see
that.
it after the action happens.
Yeah,
but before that, we're like, why are we
explained,
fighting these guys?
But it is explained that they are hostile and that they're working for the Enchantress.
But
it's at the wrong point of the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When you roll up on them and you're just like, wait, why do we know that these guys are bad? And so they look weird as fuck. So I guess yeah.
And I really liked the headbutting between Flag and Deadshot because I really liked that it came to a head and Deadshot found the binder with all of them in it and it was like, yo, explain your shit.
I mean, the mid-third act sort of everyone falls apart, but then they get back together because it's family. But
I also liked the part where Deadshot was like, I missed. Because, so that what happened there was...
There's a weird relationship between Harley Quinn and Deadshot.
Yeah, which I'm kind of okay with because that actually makes sense to me.
But once again, the white girl can't be with the black guy.
Well, she's already got a boyfriend.
I know, but they never, get too close.
Well...
totally...
Okay, so basically what happens is Joker finds out that... Joker finds out that she's getting out of prison to help the Suicide Squad. I don't know, whatever. They never explain that. Anyway, so she's texting him the whole movie, and then finally he finds the scientist guy to disarm her little thingy, and then she goes in the helicopter. They dismantle the so as they're pulling away, Amanda Waller goes, shoot Harley Quinn, and then he shoots her. She pretends to be dead, and then he's like, I missed, and she's fine. And then the helicopter goes down, and Harley thinks that the Joker is dead. Yeah. And then at the end, we already marked spoilers, so if you're listening this far ahead, fuck you. The Joker
Wait a minute, I'll say fuck you to the people who are watching our video.
Alright, look, I marked spoilers a long-ass time ago. If they're still here and they haven't watched the movie yet, or they don't want to, and they just want to hear us
you don't need to watch this movie, bro.
But basically, the Joker breaks into Belle Reve and, obviously breaks her out. Although, we don't really know for sure, because all it really happens is she goes, puddin', and then that's the end.
I feel it's unnecessary, the word unnecessary keeps popping up into my head to describe it. The fact that
I think this movie's unnecessary.
The fact that she's apart from everyone else seems completely unnecessary. There's nothing that she can do.
I did like how she pretended to be on Enchantress's side just to cut out her heart.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That was a typical move that I would consider as part of Harley's arsenal.
It tries to be more highly stylized, but doesn't go all the way with it. And that's what I feel is wrong.
Part of the problem.
It's just if you're going to be this weird, blowout, crazy movie, then just be that. But I feel it doesn't.
It's why Fox actually... Well, most of that was Ryan Reynolds, but it's why the Deadpool movie succeeded where this movie failed. Basically, Deadpool's over the top, but Deadpool also realizes he's in a movie, and he does have a plot. Whether or not, and then all those jokes that he bless you, and all those jokes that he told during the movie were relevant to the plot. For example, the famous scene where Francis goes, say my name, and then Deadpool goes, I'm going to spell it out for you, and then he has a fight with all these guys, and then spells his name out in bodies. That's fucking funny.
But this movie has
this movie did none of that. I would have loved to see a scene where, Deadshot, we did get a little bit of it where, Deadshot was like, hey, you didn't pay me yet, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
That was really funny. But I was like, all right, look, you gotta be real here, though. You gotta balance it. I feel like a lot of the problems with the DC cinematic universe is that they have no balance. Their characterization is mostly spot on, but their scripts are just not.
It felt like I said, when they introduced Deadshot and Harley, they give them their own first 2 or 3 minutes, and then you go to Amanda Waller breaking down the different people she's calling in for Suicide Squad, and it's just well, that was your point to do that, to go to their individual stories and do that. Why did you set the both of them up first? And then you're going to do the thing where you're literally going to go back to their plotline anyway. It's just why? It felt like a very cobbled together movie. I heard something about this movie was edited by a company that edits trailers. And boy, oh boy, does it really look like it. It looks like every time the scene where we're seeing the background of Joker and Harley, I'm just wow, that looks kind of like an interesting movie. I'd check that out. too bad we're not watching it. You know, like,
so,
and when they dump her in the vat, we don't even know what the vat is. What is it?
Well, obviously it takes off the Joker's makeup. But,
yeah, I was just like, wait. I thought the idea was that stuff made his skin white. But it doesn't? Like, what? I don't get it.
Alright, so what would we give this movie out of 10?
I'm not done talking about Harley. So,
oh, God.
so the accent thing,
You know
right?
that you've been talking about this for like a half hour.
I know. So the accent thing, here's the thing about the accent. She does try to do it. There's little points where she's speaking in a sort of Brooklyn way, but it's not really in the sing-songy high-pitched voice. So it's just like, well, dude, if you're gonna do it, just do it. Like, don't like... But then there's other points where it's just... Here's just Margot Kidder. What's her name?
Margot Robbie.
Yeah, Margot Robbie playing Harley Quinn. And it's just like, dude, either do one or do the other. Like, don't play with my emotions. And second of all, when she brings out the mallet thing, she never uses the mallet. She just uses the baseball. And then, remember when she goes up in the elevator and she's like, I'm using the elevator. Aren't I cute and cutesy and whatever? Then there's this whole scene of like 2 of the guys come in and fight her, and then that has nothing to do with anything. She just comes out on the other side and they're like, and they're like, oh wait, Harley Quinn, she's hot because she's wearing the hot pants. Anyway, there was like 2 scenes where they're just Harley Quinn's hot.
Okay,
like,
so
you know what I mean? It was corny.
One of the issues that I had with this movie, specifically with Harley Quinn, was nothing to do with the accent. I could take it or leave it, to be honest. But part of my problem with Harley Quinn is these guys, and it's the same problem I have with Wonder Woman. These guys who make these movies have no idea how to shoot a woman.
They know how to shoot a woman's ass. That's
yeah,
for sure.
Oh my god, so many fucking ass shots, and I'm like, all right, look, I'm a bisexual woman. I like butts as much as the next person. I can admire a butt, but when I'm in the middle of watching a movie that's supposed to be about, you know, action and like drama and all that nonsense, I would expect that if you're going to show me Harley's ass, that you'll show me Deadshot's ass, Katana's ass, fucking Killer Croc's ass. If you're not going to shoot it that way, don't fucking just concentrate on her just because she's wearing hot pants. What the fuck, you guys?
Why is she wearing hot... Oh, well, you know what I did like? I like how her makeup slowly, more and more, gets crazier.
Yeah, that's funny.
That was kind of cool.
That was good.
But, you know, I keep forgetting about the fucking Diablo guy, because he's just like, Mr. Brooding in the corner, I'm not going to get used and do anything. And then, like I said, what's his name? The guy, the Native American looking guy who literally just comes in and falls the fuck out of the movie. When they should have fucking killed Captain Kangaroo's ass, because he just looks like just this
Boomerang.
Australian hobo guy.
Yeah,
like, I don't care.
Well,
when I say
Boomerang,
Captain Kangaroo.
Boomerang
Kangaroo Jack, whatever the fuck.
Captain Boomerang actually did do one thing, and that's like they spied on the lightning storm.
Yeah. I like to fuck unicorns. You know how Deadpool did a thing where he's weird?
Like, my thing is that this Captain Boomerang was not at all what I expected. So in Arrow, the Captain Boomerang in Arrow was way better, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, are you sufficiently?
I mean, there's probably more I could talk about, but honestly, it's not necessary.
So let's give it a rating. I'll give it for Deadshot and Harley Quinn and Amanda Waller, I'll give it 3 stars, but because they keep shooting Harley Quinn's ass, I'll give it 2 stars, but the Deadshot relationship with his daughter was pretty cool, but I hated the Joker, and I also hated the fact that this editing was pretty terrible, so I'm going to give it 1 out of 10.
Oh yeah, no, wait, out of 10?
Yeah, remember we decided that we were going to do out of 10 because 5 is like way too small of a
scale. Yeah.
I can't give it half of 0.5 out of 5. That would be stupid.
No, I'm not gonna lie to you. I am right there with you on 1 out of 10.
I didn't like it as much as I mean, I liked certain elements of it, but I don't think that it was. Those elements do not save the movie.
All I could do was imagine, wow, this would be really cool. Like, if this was like a teaser trailer for a better movie, I would have been like, oh, I can't wait to see this movie. But like, oh boy, as it is, it's just like I said, when the action gets going, you're literally going to sit there and go like, oh, this is the villain? Oh, okay. Oh, all right, fine. You know what I mean? Like, so, you don't care about what's happening. And here's the thing. I feel like as a critic, I'm going to be more critical of it. And so I'm seeing, like, oh, this could be such a better movie, da-da-da. I think there are some people who are going to just go into it and be like, I won't even say it's stupid fun because it doesn't even want to be stupid fun. It's trying too hard to be dark to be stupid fun, but it's not psychologically engaging enough to be that sort of dark. And so, like, I feel like people are going to go into it. If they really want to enjoy it, you're going to enjoy it. But it's not going to last. This isn't a movie, and it seems like it should because it's such a novel concept. It's such a, no one else could really do something like this. So let's make it count. But it feels like they didn't really want to do that. So it's like, oh well, all right. I guess I'll just watch the animated Suicide Squad movie.
Okay, so after this, Flash, I'm doing Flash Season 1, Arrow Season 2, and then in November, Rap Critic and I will be back for Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Which I'm looking forward to.
It looks like it's just like Inception times 3.5 with all the building moving thing. Remember that building moving scene from Inception? Oh boy, we got that for you in spades.
And then in December, I'm going to be doing Supergirl. And then in February, we're going to be seeing the Lego Batman movie. Yeah. March, we're going to be seeing Wolverine 3 and Wonder Woman. Or Wolverine 4 and Wonder Woman.
Oh my god, there's another Wolverine movie?
Yeah, supposedly. In May, we are getting Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh, nice. I like Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, June is Wonder Woman. My bad. And then something else is happening.
Some other bullshit.
Yeah, but basically, after December, you're not going to see regular episodes of Superhero Rundown from me. You're only going to see vlogs with the two of us from about January through June, because thesis. But yeah, so I really hope that Doctor Strange is not this bad. Do we have any hopes for Doctor Strange?
It's funny that I rated it so low because, like I said, I didn't even think it was like, it's not a horrible movie. It's just like it's not finished.
Yeah.
It's legit not finished. You needed to pack it with jokes. Don't just do like the sort of like remember the Ike Barinholtz thing where he's just like, oh, you're a whole bunch of sexy and a whole lot of crazy, and it's just like, that's stupid. Like everything that Ike Barinholtz did, I liked him in the last movie that we watched that he was in. I can't remember what it was.
Okay.
It was some other movie that we had watched recently, and I was like, hey, Ike Barinholtz, I remember him from Mad TV, awesome. But here it was just like, like, I get it. You're objectifying Harley. Okay.
Can we?
You want to wrap this up?
I would like to ask you what you're expecting from Doctor Strange before we wrap this up.
I don't know. I will definitely just want to see how he interacts with the Marvel Universe. Now that because
Marvel has not really done magic.
Scarlet Witch has been kind of, they didn't really treat it like,
Thor is magic and science, but it's kind of like intertwined with each other. And Scarlet Witch, like, they explained her powers as probability spheres.
They treat him like aliens. Yeah. They treat Thor like an alien. They don't treat it like he's actual god. They treat it like, oh, he's from this other place. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Although Black Widow does have the line in the Avengers that they are basically gods.
They're basically gods. She doesn't
and then she goes, and then like Captain America has the best line of the whole movie. There's only one God, man, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't dress like that. Yeah, I'm actually really interested to see how Doctor Strange matches it up because this is the first time for realsies that we're actually combating magic in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
So this is going to be really a real fun ride, I think. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, Marvel has yet to put out a movie that I hate.
But as for this movie,
knock on wood.
Literally, I yawned at least 3 times.
Oh my god, he yawned.
I was just like, I was just like, as it was
I was really expecting you to just walk out of the theater. To be honest,
it's not interesting. It's not interestingly bad enough to walk out of the theater. It's just there. It's like in the 80s and 90s. You know what this is? This is an asylum film that somehow got their hands on an important property. And it's just like if I had found out DC made this, I would be like, I mean, if I found out Asylum made this, I'd be like, how the hell did they get Asylum? How the hell did Asylum get DC's characters? Like, because it's really that sort of like level of none of this feels important. None of this feels funny. None of this feels like it has balls to it. You know? Yeah. Remember that weird moment where Scarlet Witch, where the Enchantress says, "You don't have the balls," to what's his name's character? I was just like, where the fuck did that come from? Like, Enchantress didn't talk like that throughout the rest of the movie, so why the hell is all of a sudden she has this colloquial language? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Just all these elements felt like they didn't come together. Literally, this seems like a movie that they should be like, in a couple of months, hey guys, sorry, here's the actual footage, we'll give it to you for free. We just fucked up the last time. We know you already paid. Here's the better movie that we should have made. You know?
Yeah.
But now... not even interesting enough to watch just out of hate.
We'll see you guys in November for Doctor Strange.
Alright. We'll see what happens. Alright. Well, I'm Rap Critic.
And I'm Jess.
And we'll be watching movies with you again. I'm trying to come up with a...
Yeah, no, we should have rehearsed that.
Yeah, alright. We never had a thing, did we? We just ended awkwardly.
We always ended awkwardly. Except for that one part where I was like, Falcon, motherfucking Falcon.
We should just end... That's just going to be our trademark now. We just ended awkwardly.
Okay, sure. I can end it awkwardly. You ready for awkward?
Yeah.